here. So excited to introduce you to Alysia. She's very new into my circle, but it's through the power of networking that I was introduced to her. And it was so funny because when we first got on the screen together, just like Amber and I were twinning today, I think Alysia and I were twinning that day as well. And, you just get drawn to somebody who looks good and acts so welcoming. And I said, you need to come to our group and check out all these awesome people that I know. And so with that, I'm going to turn this over to Alysia Larson with Mary Kay.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity on short notice. Well, I'm going to share my screen and push play. So a little bit about me is, of course, I'm an independent Mary Kay beauty consultant. A big news on the front in my career right now is I'm in what's called director and qualifications. I submitted on Friday, so I have 3 months to build my team from just 10 to 30. So big things on big fronts here. I've had my business for 5 years and have absolutely loved it. And my main vision is to illuminate women and show them how to grow and develop. I have been married on a personal note. I have been married to my husband, Troy, for 23 years, and we have 5 amazing kids. Our neighbors call them the Fab Five. My oldest, as you see him in a suit, he is actually serving a church mission in Brazil for 2 years. And people are like, well, do you get to see him? And I'm like, only if it's FaceTime. It's kind of tough. And another thing about me that I love people to know is I'm a triathlete. So I love to swim, bike, and run. So I have my pink bike. If you've ever seen that iconic picture of a pink Cadillac being kissed, I was trying to recreate it in this picture, just for the fun of it. All right. What I'm going to talk about today is the 5 biggest beauty mistakes I see. Now, men, you can totally plug your ears, you can get on your phone, but I'm going to say you might learn a thing or two if you stay tuned in. Just saying, you might learn a thing or two. All right. So the 5 biggest beauty mistakes I see people making, number 1 is they're not washing their face at night. Oftentimes we go through the day and we're so exhausted, we just fall right into bed. Well, if we wash our face at night, we're taking off all that dirt and grime. Just like our body rejuvenates at night when we work out, our skin does the same. And so if we have the dirt and grime on our faces, we're not going to rejuvenate. Another point to know, we have age discrimination that starts to happen about 45 for women and about 50 to 55 for men. So thinking that taking care of your skin and washing our face is a vanity thing is not accurate. It is actually lengthening your career life, if you want to even put it in your investment of your body. I heard a football player who's just spends about $1 million a year on his body, coaches, whatnot. Why aren't we spending at least a few bucks on our skin, taking care of that? The number 2 is that we are relying on our makeup to cover up skin issues. Acne, age spots, dryness. We tend to think, oh, well, I'll cover it up with my makeup. I'll cover it up with my makeup. When really you need to go back to the basics of taking care of the skin underneath so that it will show through. Just like this cake, I use the analogy of the cake. You can put as much icing on as you want, but it's still not going to be the fact that you turned the cake out too soon or you didn't assemble it right. So do focus on the skincare first, and the second is on taking care of the makeup. The 3rd biggest beauty mistake I see is a hodgepodge of products. Oftentimes you want to use brand X and brand Z and you bring them together and they actually are clashing and reversing the effects that you really want. So sticking with one skincare line, if it be whatever brand, is going to actually be more advantageous for your skin than using cleansers. And as much as like those Etsy boxes that come, they're actually damaging and reversing those effects. So sticking with one line from your cleanser to your eye cream is going to be for example, I use in Mary Kay, the products just click together perfectly, just like Legos do. The 4th beauty mistake is people overlook the deep clean. Masks, exfoliating are 2 of the biggest things that are going to take your skincare regimen up to the next line. And men, I have their favorite mask in Mary Kay is actually a charcoal mask. By doing a deep clean or an exfoliant twice a week, so Wednesdays and the weekends, you're going to see your skincare effects actually just skyrocket. If you do 2 things, like a habit a day, a new habit, that takes you up to the next level professionally. And that's the same with our skin. If we're doing the deep clean, cleaning out the pores, the moisturizers, the cleansers can get in and really do their job. Also, if we're exfoliating, we're creating more of an opportunity for the pores to close back and thus be as large. Most people don't want bigger looking pores. All right. And so for the fifth beauty mistake I see is people are wearing expired. Now, we can look at the back of our products and be like, oh, this is expired, like our food, and we throw it away. Well, expiration for our makeup and skincare can be the same. Mascara can be thrown away every 3 months. You don't want a bacteria eye infection. Liquid eyeliner. Most open products can last about 2 years as the shelf life. But there's another element of expired, and that's your look. If you haven't changed your look in 20 years, your makeup look, it's time to do a reassessment. I mean, like this beautiful woman from the Drew Carey show, she's definitely more of the 80s or even back into the 50s. So we don't want to showing up professionally is also meaning, whatever look that is, but definitely not wearing something of a decade or two ago. So if it's been a while, it's worth it. And once a year, I usually meet with my customers to do a checkup from the neck up, making sure their skincare is working, they're on the regimen, and our skin changes. And so does our makeup looks need to change. So shimmer might not be looking great on you right now. And then I always love to leave on the positive note. So instead of saying what we do wrong, let's see the things of what we could do right. In good taste, in good class, having a good skincare regimen, man or woman, having a good cleanser, moisturizer, and an eye cream. Eyes, don't forget them because they are actually going to show your age sooner than anything else. Again, I mentioned the annual checkup from the neck up. And then knowing the classics of skincare and cosmetics, because the classics of like, how do you put foundation on? How do you apply these things? They do change and technology changes. We're not using the same phone that we were using 5 to 10 years ago. So we shouldn't be using the same makeup techniques that we were using that a long time ago. And experiment with new trends. This is not a self-promotion, but this is a free group to join if you want. But I do a Real and Beautiful, and every Tuesday, hop on and do a Tuesday tip. This month, I'm talking about foundations and applying foundations. Last month, I was talking about skincare. So if you want to know what the new and stay in the trend, know that you have it there. And actually, I just started doing TikTok too. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting high tech. My kids are like, embarrassing, mom. I'm like, well, don't look me up then. So if you see these two pictures at the bottom, it's before contouring, after contouring. If you are more of a natural girl or gentleman, or if you're a high contour person, either way, just showing up and being yourself begins with the moment you decide to be yourself. So wear what you want to wear, be who you are, but knowing that those are some tips and tricks to becoming and to show up most professional. Do I open up for questions? I've only done this once, so I've only been to this meeting once.
Sorry, I was still smiling.
I saw you, Isis, putting your lipstick on. Bold colors.